Line reads 4 straight 24 to the Western Magpies, 3 behind Street. Riley Starry, Nick Davis with you for the coverage this afternoon. And Nico, the Magpies, they started rather poorly. What have they got to do to get back into this one?
Well, they've just got to apply a lot more pressure around the contest. What we're seeing is Sandgate and playing straight to their game plan. The amount of run that the Hawks have is phenomenal, but the Magpies are doing absolutely nothing to negate that. The footy keeps getting out over the back, and I don't know if they're committing too heavily to the contest, but they've really got to keep the pressure locked in around. We saw the way the two teams set up in that first term. When Sandgate had the footy down their end, a strong wall was set up across the half-forward line. Magpies, a lot less inclined to actually set up something like that, and the Hawks are just getting free and away, so the pressure really has to go on in this term. And if you've just joined us, no matter where you're watching, thank you very much for joining us. It's a community umpire round where we celebrate the men and women who wear the green and officiate this game. But the ground is soaked at the moment because a classic Queensland storm just hit us. So we're about to get underway in the second term as Bradford, he's been dominant, he gets the tap away, but well, a hold has been called, and it's that man, Crawford. He's been one of the best so far for the Magpies, and he's going to get first chance with the footy in this second term. Wind against him, blowing to the left-hand side of the screen. Oh, bit of a pressure kick towards Beams, manages to use his strength and experience to push the man away. And that's what we were hoping to see at some point, the volley. And a nice little touch finder, and it gets it down into the Magpies forward 50, and we're going to have a throw in about 30 metres out from the Maggies' goal.
That looks like a noticeable change here in this second quarter, Nick. We've seen Clay Beams. He's played a lot midfield defensively in the first month for this Magpies unit, but he started this second term up forward. Maybe they're just trying to spark something. There's Highlands from the pack. He's just gone to the left, so one behind. He, of course, is very dangerous. For the Magpies, he was very good last year. And now, without the likes of Anthony Corrie and Jake DeWinter in this Magpies lineup, a lot of experience. A lot of pressure is going to fall on him as it's cleared away from Bloss towards half-back. It's almost the mark taken from Austin. Lays the secondary tackle on court. It's a good effort from the young man. And we'll have a ball up. We have 45 metres out from the Magpies attacking goals. See if they can get their first goal of the game from this pretty much repeat entry. Bradford wins it down though. Trying to get at the bottom of the pack was Lonergan. He fed a hand pass away. Kicked away from Saunders, couldn't quite get it forward enough. It's in dispute. Winton goes off the boot and goes out of play. Another thing I really liked from Sandgate in that opening term was the way they pressed up really hard, but also kept a structure. Sometimes you can press up and just lose all sense of structure. You can certainly see it in their setup.
Absolutely. And we're going to do something to really change that. But right now the Hawks are just playing, especially, I feel that their ball movement really set up a way the round that Bradford is rucking. He's got a bit of a physical mismatch against his direct opponent in Dwyer, really just using the body, and you saw him just belt one out of play earlier. He is absolutely on today, and the way he's clearing the contest with a big punch is allowing the Sandgate Smalls to really get out at the back of the contest and get some free space. And on a field like this, which as you said earlier, is just so big, they use the space to the advantage. They could be very hard to stop this afternoon. That rain, well, it's all gone now, and clear skies out over the city end. I think it's going to trouble us again today. And, well, it's even slow the Hawks down as balls are wrapped up there on the half-forward line. And, well, we're going to have a throw-up courtesy of umpire Mitchell Blashak. As we said, community umpire round. Can't thank the men and women in green enough for what they do, officiating this great game of ours.
Bradford wins it decisively. Mackenzie kicked the opening goal this game, gets it away to Maynard, who sends it towards half forward, goes over the back of everyone. This is a dangerous contest. Hagen came like a bull at the gate, but just couldn't quite get it. Well done from Lawrence, fed it to Saunders. They're just feeding the hand pass back. Green, goes over the tops, and that should be a pretty simple mark to Lawrence at half-back. There's not that much ahead of him in terms of movement, so he's probably going to be content to just send it up the line to the tall timber in Dwyer. It's where he tries to go. Spoil from Bradford. Reed sends it towards half-forward line. Oh, that's a very strong mark from Goodall. Oh, he's about 70 metres out now. He's got an option free in the 50. Tries to find him. Couldn't quite get there to Lonergan. They got the numbers though. Trying to get it away there was Mitchell. Edwards sends it towards goal. Sandgate have scrambled very well here. Crawley off the non-preferred right foot. Sends it to Harding. Goes away from Patching, and he'll just send it indiscriminately towards the wing. Dwyer, oh, that's a ripping tackle. Unfortunately, Sandgate don't have the numbers, so he's going to be coming back anyway. And Green finds Goodall about 55 metres out from goal.
Well, Goodall turns around on the right foot now. Numbers floating over the back. Clean with the hands, are they? They're not. Spills to the back of the pack. And they manage to clear danger again, courtesy of Bloss. And they escape again. And well, that was better play, but how about the pressure there from Sandgate? A 3-on-1, nearly managed to turn it over. The umpire says play on in the meantime. And we forced to escape, just bangs it long down the line, the Fabian direction. Well, what I keep seeing is there was no real plan as we saw that contest there as the Magpies tried to escape the half-back line. Bradford is in such good form right now, you cannot be kicking it in his direction. You've really got to try and move the ball across the ground. Kick down the line towards a big man who is just hot at the moment. You just can't do it, and well, I've just got to find other avenues, and this might be a chance here. Good arm over the top came courtesy of Loki Haynes. Flying red mullet, and a free kick's been plucked out of this, but it's going Sandgate's way. Well, it's all going Sandgate's way at the moment. Interesting what Loki Harris does with this ball here. He's going to prop back, look across the ground, option's not on, so he's going to be forced to go down long down the line. Well, no real communication there. In fact, it's gone out on the full, so the Maggies can relaunch and reload here. Going to take the man on, bomb it long with the right foot. Sets it up to the hot spot. Kick might be a bit too long. Fist flies over the top. First of the footy down there is Maynard. Can't get clean hands, overrun it. Crawford's floating around. They dish it out again, and they're out and escape one more time. Well, this is very good from the Hawks. It's Fabian. Some of the best facial hair going around. Just keeps the pressure on, but they've pulled a free kick out of there, and it's going to go the Maggies' way. This is their chance.
So, about 75 metres out from goal. It goes towards the forward line. A lot of targets. Highlands couldn't quite take it off the hands. Beams tries to pick it up. He's dispossessed. It's just a stoppage. Bit of a ruck and more, and we'll have a ball up. I think the Sandgate bench appreciated that call there, Nico.
Oh, mate, you just got to admire what you see. Real recognise real.
Exactly right.
That's coming from someone who cannot grow anything. And a big smack goes Bradford. I'll tell you what, I think he's been watching the NBA playoffs. As the Maggies, well, they try one more time, but the defensive pressure from the Hawks is phenomenal. And that man, Bradford, just puts the body in there, might be in the back, play on, says the umpire. And they've just got numbers free as, well, Crawford comes in, but just a little bit too late. Tumbling kick down the line. Couldn't find Payno, 2-on-1. But again, as we talked about, numbers one more time. It's Hagan now onto the right foot. Tries to find the big man, Bradford, just dropped a little bit too low for him, and they've escaped again, the Hawks, and we're going to have a throw in on centre wing, far side of the ground.
So we've played about 7 minutes into this second term, and the Magpies has basically been camped in their forward 50. And they've got one behind to show for it, and that's it. They want to get a bit more reward for effort. Bradford wins the tap down, but not really to anyone in particular of advantage. Lonergan was tackled from the aforementioned Bradford. We'll have another ball up. It's a beautiful ground here, Lemke Road. It's one of the best in the league. Dwyer, you could say won the tap down, comes off hands, going in hard. Mitchell taps it towards himself, gets on the left boot. Now he's going to find Highlands, who can play on. It's big one-on-one in the square. Bloss and Austin. Austin had the height advantage, couldn't take the mark. Beams, that's a clever hand pass. And finally, the Magpies have got their first. It's a much-needed first goal to reduce the margin. And that's been kicked by Carl Reid. 4 straight, 24 to 1-4-10. We've played 7 minutes and pretty much 8 minutes into this second term. Nick Davis.
Well, that was the best forward entry we've seen from them all day. They kept the pressure on. They knew that Sandgate had numbers running back and weren't set up. I've always thought they'd been rushed, but they managed to get them on the roll that time. And good hands down there by Beams. A lot of experience at the bottom of the contest. I could see he was just about to come off the ground there, but he's been sent back into the middle. And, well, hopefully that's the kickstart that this Magpies outfit need. So just reconvene in the middle of the Hawks. Probably a little bit dirty on that one there, but at the same time, they withstood so much pressure. Eventually, the damn wall was going to break. So what can they do now? Can they get a roll on the Magpies? As Bradford goes up against that man, and Dwyer gets a punch away, the big man. First of the footy. Well, it's Dennis. Gets the kick over the top. Hawks go forward again. This is their first real foray for this quarter. His bodies fly left, right and centre. Legs akimbo. Fabian, that man, tries to get a little volley out of the pack. Doesn't work as he's wrapped up in the contest. And now we're seeing a bit more pressure from the Magpies. It's Cash and Harris. Managed to get the hands out the back. They've got the numbers there. But just bullocking his way through the contest. Look at him go. He's got run now. And they've got a man over the top. Just got to be good. And it drops very nicely in the hands of Goodall. And no, he doesn't rush. He doesn't even turn around. He just walks back and says, boys, let me take this one. And that was good ball movement off the half-back line, Riley Starray.
It certainly was. Jack Goodall, of course, he is a Redlands product. He goes in between Chelmer and the bait. He's a very good footballer. He's a good kick of the football too. And I think he can kick it from here.
Let's see how he goes. Goodall, the right footer, a little bit stuttery. Bit of Kennedy-style action. Winds up with the right. It's swinging back. He's got it. Get around him, they say. Goodall with the Magpies, second for the afternoon. 2 goals, 4-16. They trail Sandgate 4 goals straight. And well, as we said, finally that kickstart, we've seen it. I don't know what Coach Morgan said in the quarter time, but that's better pressure, and this is the Magpies outfit that we know.
It certainly is, and I think one of the things we've really noticed in this second term, and it's been one of the question marks on this Sandgate outfit for a number of years now, not necessarily how young they are, but it's just the physical body size. And I think the Magpies, they do have a lot of bigger bodies, a lot of seasoned bodies, and I think that's really starting to wear down the Sandgate outfit a little bit. And it happened last week as well against Wilston Grange, as Bradford wins it down decisively, but straight to Janky Kane, hand pass at the bottom of the pack from Harding. Easton goes in hard. It's cleared away from Janky Kane. It's not a bad kick too. And it goes in the hand of Highlands. Now, what does he have ahead of him? He's going to go in the direction of Austin and Goodall. They both fly against each other. Goes over the back. It's a foot race towards the ball. Macaulay Lonergan, the man with no first names, sends it out of play. And we'll have a throw in. 20 metres out.
What do they
say? The Magpies attacking goal.
What do they say about not trusting a man with 2 first names? What do you do with a man with 2 last names? All right, well, footy about to be thrown back in. Another opportunity here for the Magpies. As the big man manages to get it down. Left foot snap, just not in time. And that's a bit of composure there. I like that from the Hawks. And they can escape. Left footer clears it out of the line, kicks down to the contest. They've got it over the back if possible, and it's going to spill over the line for a boundary throw in. And I just think now that we've seen the rain come down, it's a slippery deck out there. You mentioned earlier the physicality that the seasoned bodies of the Magpies have as opposed to this young, fast-running Sandgate outfit. Just feel that it just brings the game back onto the Magpies' terms here and just slow down that slick ball movement that Sandgate had earlier. And crunch him a bit around the contest. The appeal is there for holding the ball, and it is paid. So I won't get it back on their terms now. It's just looking a little bit slow and a little bit less keen to try and find a bit of space, and forcing a kick down the line through the hands. Goes through 2 sets of hands there. Cash and Harris couldn't even get his hands on it. Just bombed down, play on, says the umpire. Banged out of the pack there by Fry. 3 Magpies at the fall of the ball. Snapped on there by Lawrence. And that's actually a good kick, and it's found it to Easton, last year's rising star. He wastes no time, gets on the right foot, bangs it down the line. No one's really reading this well at the moment. The Magpies have a chance as Highlands is through his hands. But marked on the last line of the fence there by Crawley, and he's been good in the defence this afternoon, Riley Starray.
He certainly has. He'll send it towards half-back. It's out of play. I reckon he's been the Hawks' best defender so far today. He's looked like a very sure presence down there. I like the way as a whole the Hawks have defended. They've made sure pretty much every shot on goal outside of that set shot from Goodall and Austin in the first quarter. It's always been under pressure, or if not, if it is a set shot at tough angles, it's made it every score be earned. As neither ruckman really went it down that time. Dennis tried to get it away. Falls off the hands to Harding. And he'll set it out of play. We'll have another ball up. At half forward.
Just took him on there, Harding, but good on him. Tried to break the contest. And that's what they want to see. They can't move the ball cleanly by foot, then they're going to have to run it a little bit in these conditions. Being led by the big man in Bradford, gets another tap down. Cries for holding, not there. Left foot there by Dennis. And just swing it down the line. Can't get it on the second take. Well, Crawford, he's been busy. Just pops in through the hands. No one's able to take this cleanly. Gallagher tried. Now the right foot. This is better. Puts him under the pump. He's got to be good here, Crawley. Yeah, manages just to do enough. We're going to have another boundary throw in. 5 metres out for the Magpies goal. 4 goals straight, pardon me. Don't know what's happened. 4 goals straight, Sandgate. And the Magpies 2 goals, 4-16, boundary throw in.
Critical juncture of this game, this one. Sandgate need to hold. They get the clearance away from Harding towards the wing. Big fight at the back. No mark taken from Fabian. It's cleared away from Patching. Now it is going to be a foot race. Magpies have the numbers. Hagen, though, he is quick. He forced the contest. Cashin Harris tries to lay a tackle. Well done, though, from Mitchell. He got it towards the wing. Falling over his own 2 feet, Dwyer. Now it goes to Hagen. This could be really against the runner playing hurt. Hogan will send it long. It's going to go to Taglieri. It's going to bounce. He's held. He gets it anyway. And he's got the free. It was either going to be a free kick or a goal. Take your pick. And James Taglieri, he can kick his first for the afternoon. And this really would be against the runner play.
Well, this is what they wanted here, the Hawks. Just trying to get that footy out over the back. They haven't managed to do it this term. Knew Taglieri had the speed there. And you're right, a bit of a professional foul in the old vernacular, and well, he's going to come in right now.
So Taglieri to send it to 14 points. He does. So they've been very accurate this afternoon, the Hawks. They've got a 14-point lead as we tick over halfway through this second term. 5 straight 30, 2-4-16. Round 5 of the QAFL Saturday afternoon football. And the Hawks are taking it up to their more seasoned opponents, Nick Davis.
Yeah, absolutely they are. They've bought themselves a little bit of breathing space there because the traffic had been all the Magpies' way at that point. But as I said, that sort of play has been starting deep in defence. Mitchell Crawley's been an absolute standout so far, and they just haven't been able to use their speed to the advantage that we saw in the first term. As we said, the big storm came in, really levelled the playing field, as it always does, and well, needed to make that one Taglieri to buy that breathing space, and they do. Now they've got the numbers, they're pressing forward again. That man, Cashin Harris, he's floating around and he's looking dangerous. Just hustling around the contest. Through the hands there for Benjamin Hogan. Can't get it clean. Gets it back a second time. That was Mackenzie. They're wrapped up there. They're all appealing for it. And, well, he was appealing to the boundary umpire there, and I just don't think that's in his jurisdiction.
Certainly not.
As it goes up again. Well, taken pretty cleanly out of the contest there by Winton. I like that, but men just fly everywhere. And that was over the shoulder there. Nicely called there by the umpire. And Winton will go back and take a free kick. Had his head down. Well, the heavy body just fell over the top of him. So Winton, the right footer. The flying mullet comes through with Loki. Puts the pressure on. Bit of a puddle flying there. 2-on-1. Got to get it out. Water flies. Little Superman dive and nudged over the line right in front of the Sandgate bench. And he may have been a little bit, unlucky. Not to get the free there, the young man Riley Easton, last year's rising star. Well, boundary umpire wastes no time, gets that footy back in. Sandgate have the numbers around the contest, but just can't get clean hands to the footy. Casey Barber's floating around the back of the pack. He's got to put the pressure on now, just skinning through the hands, and, well, Loki does well. Force the man over the line. We have a boundary throw in, 65 metres out from the Magpies' goal.
So a bit of a mismatch here in the ruck at the moment. You've got Bradford against young Austin. In terms of both height and physical capabilities, Easton didn't really get a kick off the boot. Crawford indiscriminately kicks it away, but it favours the Hawks. Hogan keeps it in. Harding, well, he spent it before he got it really. He's turned it over. Easton's tackle will go out of play. There'll be a boundary throw in.
Yeah, got me a bit of treatment there, Easton. They know what he's capable of, the young man. I'll tell you what, I've loved the game from Gareth Crawford. He's been absolutely phenomenal around the contest, and really, every time there's a 50-50 ball, he's managed to keep the Magpies in the contest. As that man again manages to get the footy forward, and, well, yeah, kicking in danger it's been called, so it's going.
Contact below the knees, Nico.
Below the knees, pardon me. And Gareth Crawford gets the footy flying forward. Have they got numbers over the back? First man to the ball. And they managed to get it over the line for another boundary throw-in.
So Sandgate had about 2 inside 50s in this second term. They've got 1 goal. Magpies dominated really in the general field of play. And they really haven't got much reward for effort, as it'll be another stoppage inside the forward 50 for the Magpies. That's really been the story of this second term. A lot of repeat stoppages, but not that much reward for effort, you'd have to say. Crawford, well, he's bowled over. Very well done there from the Hawks. It's cleared away defensively towards half-back. Payno will try and fly, dropping in front well, though, with Sivic. Now, Sivic is about 75 metres out from goal. He was sent it right back from whence it came, towards the forward line. No mark taken from Goodall. Numbers at the back favour the Hawks. Barber's going to have to do very well here. He'd want it out of play. He keeps it in though. That was absolutely superb. Goes with the banana, tries to find Fabian. Tries to go to the back towards another speedster in Cash and Harris, but couldn't keep it. Easton does well. He was composed. Now Luca Winton. He's 50 out. He'll set it towards goal. It's hit the post off hands and it's one behind. So it's another point to the Magpies. 5 straight to 2-5. And we've almost ticked in the time on in this second term.
Oh, didn't we just see the speedsters link up there? That's exactly what Casey Barber's backing his side for. Well, but the Magpies have numbers and well, they're looking good at the moment. Just need to capitalise and no one, absolutely no one on Cale Reid. And well, they want to play it on. I don't know why he chose that option, but well, the footy's now safely back in the hands. I thought he had a shot directly in front there. Just may not have backed himself in. The footy's in the hands of Macaulay Lonigan. Lonigan, 2 goals so far this season, but it's been one of their best, the Magpies, 3 times in. And Lonigan, well, to bring this back now to a 7-point game. Comes in, decent run up. Casually as you please. Lonigan gives it low, but just high enough. The Magpies have their 3rd for the afternoon. I almost, for the life of me, couldn't understand why that footy was given off, but I backed the right foot there of Lonigan. It's Sandgate, 5 goals straight. The Magpies, 3 goals, 5-17. 20.5 minutes played in this second term, Riley.
So they've been pretty inaccurate in this opening half, you'd have to say, Nick, but maybe now they're starting to get some reward for what has really been dominance. 3 goals to 1 now. It's probably deserve a couple more, but there is still plenty of time in this second term. We've only ticked over 20.5 minutes, so we're just in the time on. With plenty of football to be played before half-time. As back in the middle, Bradford wins it decisively off the spike. Batchelor, he's been pretty good this afternoon. Feeds a hand pass away. He's got a free kick for a push. And what have they got forward? Payno is one of them. The big, tall, lumbering man, and that's where it'll go.
Got to get over the back.
Big contest of players here. Spoil away from the veteran in Lawrence. It falls down there. Harding, he snaps it towards goal. Cash and Harris. Well, he's had a bit of an almost afternoon, really, since it's become wet. He's been a little bit fumbly. It's a good kick towards the wing. Dennis couldn't quite take it. Sandgate have the numbers. It's hand passed away from Hogan. They've got numbers at the back of the contest. It's fed to Crawley. They could look towards the middle. Instead, he goes really just down the line. It's worked out okay. And it's a 50-metre penalty for encroachment. And what could have really been a turnover is now going to be a shot at goal for the Hawks. And pretty much just like their first goal in this second term. It's quite a bit against the run of play. And this could extend it to 13 points.
Yeah, they were frustrated and distracted there, the Magpies. There were appeals for out in the full. Wasn't paid, and that lapse in concentration has led to a 50-metre now. And a shot on goal that gives them more breathing room to the Hawks. The goal umpire's running, and it's through for, well, the first minus score of the afternoon for Sandgate. 5 goals, 1, 31 plays the Magpies, 3 goals, 5, 23. So the first chance to have a look to see how they set up defensively. Their forward pressure has been sensational this afternoon, and we're just going to run this one out here. Kicks in the Bradford direction, dangerous. Man comes over the back. Must have been through hands because it's been called play on. Mark not called to Adam Fry, and well, we're going to have a ball up. 52 metres out from the Hawks' goal.
So Larkins, he was the beneficiary of the 50, but it just went off the boot slightly. There'll be another ball up. Going over the top was Bradford. Batchelor almost run onto it. He gets it now. Almost tries to break the tackle. That's a brilliant tackle, though. It's a lot better defensive pressure from the Magpies. Well done from Lawrence. It's about 40 metres out from the attacking goal here for the Hawks. They'd love another one. As we tick towards half-time, getting the ways Winton. It was spoiled. Socket off the ground from Reid. Falls back. Hogan's there first. He'll hand pass back to the man with a flowing mullet in. Loki Haynes, but he is taken in a ripping tackle from Clay Beams. He was never getting out of that one. And Highlands has really just pushed him in the head towards the ground.
Yeah, I didn't like that from Highlands. Third man in.
There's Beams down the line. Big contest of players. Falls off hands. Well done from Crawley. And Haynes, well, he's beneficiary of the shocker. They do have numbers if they want the switch on the outer side. Instead he goes up the line. Well, not the greatest of options. No mark taken from Dwyer. Maynard was tackled hard. And it'll be a ball up right in front of the commentary position. We've played 24 minutes into this second term. 5-1, 31 to 3-5, 23, 8 points to the good Sandgate.
Yeah, just went hard in that contest there. Maynard kept the head down, smart. There's a tumbling kick, gets kicked out there by Harding. There's a bit of space here in the middle. They've got numbers here, the Hawks. Just manages to keep it in. Cashin Harris has gone down. He's hurt there. We're going to keep calling. Right footer. It's a wobbly kick, but it manages to get itself out into the path of O'Halloran. He's got to be good with the foot. He turns back around into the path of Bradford. Now they've got to set it up here, the Hawks. A little kick over the shoulder. Probably not the most clever thing to do. And marked by Mitchell, who can slow down the play.
Now the problem is they did have an initial short option in Winton defensively on this broadcast wing, but they had absolutely no one else, so there was no chance of an overlap. Winton's just got to set it up. Lonergan, well, he got there late, fell off his hands. Hogan, he'll sort of place kick it. Umpire gets in the way, but it's worked out all right. Sivic isn't too happy about it. And Michael Hagan, the Aspley product, he can have a shot at goal, 45 metres out, 45-degree angle.
Well, you see community umpire around this week, and we're all celebrating, except for maybe one man at the moment. But you just saw the numbers set up around the contest there by Sandgate. They had about 4 outside that, so set that up beautifully, and well, hopefully they can capitalise.
Michael Hagan, he'll kick from 47. That's a good kick off the boot. Will it make the distance? No, it's just been touched on the line. So could have probably taken a couple more metres, really. Wasn't a bad effort, though, in these conditions. The second behind for the afternoon for the Hawks. 5-2 to 3-5. Gallagher to take the kick in. And he'll just send it towards a huge pack of players. Everyone converges. Well done from Fry to spoil it over the boundary. As we're just about to tick 26 minutes in to this second term. It's a 9-point lead to the Hawks. Nick Davis.
Yeah, probably about 5 minutes left here, we'd say. Not just in long quarters. 9-point game at the moment with Sandgate. They've just been a little bit better towards the end of this second term, and just using the conditions to their advantage as Cashin Harris comes second man in the tackle and really keeps a bit of pressure there, but we've got an arm over the shoulder, rightly called, and there's a little bit of heat. Settle it down. A few of the senior players coming into the contest, nothing really in it. But they've played with some heart this quarter, the Magpies. Seen a bit of that. Bradford comes in over the top. Little kick away, just didn't quite work out for Fry. It's taken by Lawrence. Lawrence just punches it down the wing. So they come into the contest. Oh, wrapped up in a tackle by last year's Rising Star. Just gets the kick forward. This is a bit more traditional wet weather footy we see. And the foot race is on again. Trying to get there is Crawley first. Little toe poke works out pretty well for the Magpies, but it's turned over. Oh, had him under pressure there. That kick just went 15. And taken by Patching of the Jaden variety. Finds his man in the middle there by Batchelor. And now they've got some space. Maynard's got a paddock. He just has to be clean with it. He is. Kicks it long, well, a little bit shorter actually. Tries to look for the other Patching. But the fist just comes back in. They're going to get it going forward again. You'd almost think the volley would be the right thing in that situation. And the throw has been called. Well, there was a bit of momentum there, I thought, for the Hawks, but the turnover has happened, and now Reid. Reid has a cross halfback. He's got a man free on the wing. Finds that man in Fletcher. Fletcher just keeps rolling forward. Looks for Beams. Sends it at his bootlaces, but that's all class. Sees the man on the inside. Gives it to last year's Rising Star and Riley Easton. Hands back over the top. Beams tries to crash his way through the park. Play on, says the umpire. Bodies flying left, right and centre. They're fighting for it. It's a great piece of play. It's still going. They're still going. Hands through over the top. Finds it to Fletcher. Fletcher on the right foot. Goes through the hands again. They're still going, the Magpies. They're working this ball forward. They want this goal. They're pressuring forward. Into the hands. Nicely done indeed. And Janky Kane says yes.
Great call there, Nico. And that was just... wasn't necessarily textbook by any sense of the imagination, but it was just will and force. And what was at one stage, a 24-point lead has now been whittled down to 3. 5-2, 32. 4-5, 29. This is turning into a ripping contest, ladies and gentlemen.
Well,
Glad you're all watching us here this afternoon.
What we saw there was just that breakdown. Sandgate really had the opportunity. There was a bit of a fumble from Maynard. If he had probably got that clean, we probably would have been looking at a Sandgate goal there. But fumbled around a little bit with the footy. Very tough in these conditions. But maybe the opportunity we talk about in the wet weather conditions, maybe the volley was the right option. Instead, got pinged for a throw. And that was probably the most complete passage of footy we've seen from the Magpies all afternoon. Worked it very well, but just the pressure and the presence of Clay Beams and Riley Easton, the young and the old working together to get that footy forward. And Janky Kane, class finish there. So the Hawks, well, they want to go in with a bit of an advantage here. It's a 3-point ball game. Sitting around the half-forward line, but the Magpies, they're here to play now as the punt goes down the line, but well taken there high. There's Vitalieri. And he's just going to try and move that on, push that towards the wing, really kicking out to space, and that is half-time. And, well, it was all Sandgate in the first term as the rain came down to wash out the first term, but to tell you what, the Magpies, 4 goals, 5-29. It's only a 3-point game here at Lemke Road. Sandgate 5 goals, 2-32. The Magpies 4 goals, 5-29. You'd have to say you give all the points to the Magpies that quarter, Riley.
You certainly do. And I tell you what, there was a much better pressure. They really just sort of flexed their muscle there a little bit in that second term. I'm just having a look towards the Sandgate bench, and it looks like Batchelor, he's just talking to the trainers. He doesn't look like he's in the greatest of ways. He's going to be key to that second half for Sandgate, who have not won in a long time, Nico, since May last year. And they've really got a chance here as we just run through the goal kickers to the Joshua Patching. Dominic Pano has one, James Taglieri has one, and Kai McKenzie, he's got one. Whilst for the Magpies, it's all singles to Junkie Kane, Reid, Lonergan and Goodall.
Well, a massive second half coming up after break. You see the Magpies walking off now. They're getting around each other. They're pumped now. They know they are back in